Thank you.
Yeah, it's the best I've seen.
Nice to have Tom come by. Really, really sweetheart of a guy, really smart guy, and to have him come on and talk about what it's like behind the scenes of Ellen DeGeneres. I got a chance. We went down there twice to do the show, and I didn't tell Ellen that I wanted her to co-host the show with me. Ever share the story?
No.
You
wanted her to host the Evening Magazine with you, but you didn't tell her?
Right. So what I did is, I sit down and I go, "Hi, Ellen, how are you doing?" She goes, "I'm great. How are you?" So they want it to be an interview. And I go, "Do you guys ever chance to go to a spa?" She goes, "I like spas." I said, "I do too. There's a brand new spa in the Northwest that allows you to bring your puppy dog. Mimi Gann's got the story." And she's like, "What?" and then I came out there. If you want more information on that particular spa and how you can bring your dog and enjoy yourself, they also have a hot rock treatment. Make sure you get in touch with us at the Evening Magazine website. "Hey, Ellen, have you seen that latest movie?" She's like, "What?" And then I launched right into the next story. So I did that with her. And like all the way at the end, she's like, "What is this?" But the audience that watched TV Magazine didn't know that she hadn't agreed to co-host the show with me. I just forced it on her.
Were you live? No, you're recording, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, we recorded with her cameras. And then the producer later on goes, "That wasn't an interview. What was that?" I said, "Oh, I was including her in my show." "You didn't tell Ellen that." I was like, "No, I figured, she'd kind of roll with it."
She's cool with it, right?
Oh, no, it was awkward.
Did they let you use the footage?
"Hey, Ellen, do you like hot dogs?" She goes, "I'm afraid to say yes." I said, "Well, there's a brand new hot dog. Can you imagine being born with a birth defect where you actually have two tongues? There's a guy in Ording that has two tongues, and he's been able to cash in. John Stofflet's got the story." She goes, "Who's John Stofflet?" She's looking around. It was awkward for her.
That's kind of brilliant, though. I love that.
Yeah.
Did it ever go to air? Did they let you air it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
So she didn't know, but we got the tape. But I did that with everybody. We get a chance to interview somebody, and then I wouldn't tell them. Tonight I'm co-hosting the show with Jerry Seinfeld. And he's just standing there, and I just would roll into every single story. He's like, "What is going on?" I was just like, "Oh, you'll find out. John Stofflet's got the story. What's it like growing up with 55 monkeys?"
Just their faces would be funny, just to get like a compilation of them being like, what?
What?
Is this nut job?
Why are you, who's Mimi Gann?
You know what? At least it would be unique for them, though, because every single day, all day, when they're doing those press junkets, which I'm sure you were a part of, they're just sitting there answering the same banal, boring questions over and over and over again.
Yeah, but in the junkets, they do want you to mention their movie. Like you're supposed to be promoting their movie.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little overrated.
Do you know when they do those junkets, the reason they do the junkets?
To promote their movie?
Right. So in one single day, one of those actors will do 40 interviews. Yeah. And you have 5 minutes at a time. So you're at the Beverly Hills Four Seasons. They get to the 7th floor. They move all the chairs and they move the bed out. And then they set the two cameras up. And the star sits there. You come in right after the other person. There's a camera on you and a camera on them. You sit down and you're like inches from their knee. It's very close, but on camera, it looks like you got some space between the two of you. And then they just go, they look at you and you go, they go, "Where are you from?" And I'm from Seattle Evening Magazine. "Oh, okay." And then somebody behind the star points to you and then you start. "Wow, what a great movie. Why'd you choose this script? And how much fun was it working with Tom Hanks?" Well, whatever. And then they launch into the thing, and then the guy behind the chair shows you 3, shows you 2, shows you 1, you wrap it all up. But yeah, they are bored out of their minds.
And they're getting the same answer 25 times.
So you ask the same you try not to ask the same question. So you can go into one of the rooms where they call the video village.
Is George Clooney a prankster?
Yeah, you go into the video village. You can watch the person just before you, how they're doing. And you're like, "Oh my God, look at that star. He is so bored."
Scratching out the same questions.
But the reason to do the junkets, if they do the junkets, then they get a part of the front end of the box office dollars. Yeah. So they'll say, "Oh, you get $20 million in the movie. If you do the junkets and help promote it, we'll give you a piece of it as well." So they're only there because they're being bribed to be there. But you're right; they're totally bored out of their entire mind.
What was your worst experience, or like the worst, the most uncooperative, just like the most memorable?
Tom Hanks was the meanest.
Tom Hanks was?
It was a bad one.
Wow.
It's on. Is it on
YouTube?
No. But I've told the story so many times.
I've never heard it.
I haven't heard it.
Yeah.
Come on,
Brady?
John. Give the people what they want.
I've never heard it.
Come on, Tom Hanks.
So many apologize. Everybody's heard it before.
I don't believe you already because I love Tom Hanks.
Okay. How many times you've interviewed him?
None, but I can tell he's a peach.
Is he? Why? Because they tell you he's the nicest guy in Hollywood?
Because you can just tell, unless he's the world's greatest actor.
How many times you met him?
What did you do to him?
Have you seen all of his movies? He's fantastic, man. He's like everybody's uncle.
He's an actor.
I don't believe that. He's
So
a
I
real
sit
dude.
down, and the guy is back behind him. They got the 5 minutes. I sit down, and I said, this has got to be a great thrill for you. Being in this movie, I think it was the one about the volleyball or whatever. And
Castaway?
yeah. And I said, this must be a great thrill for you. He goes, this movie? I said, no, being interviewed by me. He goes, who are you? And I said, I'm John Curley from Evening Magazine. He goes, Evening Magazine? That show's still on the air? Evening Magazine? Then he turns this guy behind, because he's got these lackeys that laugh everything he says. And he's like, you guys ever see that show? You ever see that show? You seen that show? Have you seen it? And they're like, no, Tom, no. Oh, he's like, it's like, oh, hi, everybody. Oh, we're at the peanut butter factory. We're going to show you how peanut butter's made. And I went, we don't go to the effing peanut butter factory anymore.
Oh, you took offense.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, he's like, yeah, dogging you to your face. I get it.
So I said, no, we do stories like, hi, I dressed up and acted like a woman in the 80s, and I'm still acting the same way.
You said that to him.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Oh, then he said, so you say the F-bomb on that show? I said, yeah. He goes, good, because blank you. And I was like, oh, really? But you know what?
He's like America's sweetheart. You got in a fight with him?
It wasn't a fight necessarily.
You guys exchanged F words.
Yeah. And that was and the guy behind him was like, 2 minutes? No, it was over.
But you've seen
Then they take me out of the room.
But you've seen
And some
Castaway,
lady,
right?
Yeah. But some lady pulls me out of the room and then takes me in you do not, she slams the door. You do not talk to Tom Hanks like that. You who he is? He's an Academy Award-winning director and actor. You do not talk to him like that. And I go, hey, listen, we all have accomplishments in life. I've accomplished stuff. You know, what about me? I've got stuff. And at that point, my hard drive's spinning around like, what do I have? And I was like,
You should have seen my work at the peanut butter
no,
factory.
I spun all the way around again, and I went, I came in second in the Catholic League Championships. I threw a javelin 163 feet. No one, and then she goes, so? I said, nobody threw it further. And she goes, well, how can you come in second? I go, it doesn't matter. The point is that I've got accomplishments too. So he's no better than me. We all succeeded at stuff. And like, why doesn't he treat me with respect?
She just goes, one word. Wilson.
No, you will never, ever interview him again. I said, you see, it's a matter of perspective, because he will never be interviewed by me again.
Yeah, that'll stick it to him.
But the greatest part of it was when I came back, and on Monday morning, I called into the office, and the general manager at King 5, hey, jerk, hits the voicemail message to play what was about to become my fate.